Three keys to climbing up. Now, I'm not talking about climbing a mountain per se, but we're going to talk about something that takes me back to my childhood. And I had the opportunity at that time, eagles were being poached. The bald eagles, our nation's national bird, was being poached and killed off in mass numbers. And I had this opportunity as a child to save some box tops up and I think a few dollars and send them in to the place. And I got a nice little certificate that said I saved a couple eagles. I gave them the opportunity to nest, and this company was going to help restore our national trait, our national bird, the eagle, the bald eagle. And the bald eagle is a majestic bird. It soars at the highest levels in the sky. And it's a beautiful bird. It's a dangerous bird, but it's a part of nature and it's a part of wonder. When was the last time that you saw a bald eagle and really appreciated it for its size, for its ability, and for what it can do and where it lives? Maybe you see them when you go off to the Grand Canyon. And there's many places where they are nesting now. Thankfully, they're back in and part of the chain of what we have, right? Of nature and being able to do something that almost no other bird can do other than the plane, but soar at huge heights. So there is a story about being a duck or being an eagle. And ducks can never be eagles because they cannot soar as high. And they cannot think the same way that an eagle does. Good morning, Lisa. Welcome. Welcome to this. This is a really great day because we're going to talk about three keys to climbing up. And I want to take it from the eagle as one story, as one point. And I was just listening to this morning, and it said that, eagles, when they allow their little babies to go start flying, they're there to catch them. And I thought, and take them to a higher place and get them to learn how to soar. It's like learning to build your wings on the way down. As you're falling, you suddenly figure out how to flap appropriately to catch the wind and go back to a lofty air, a lofty top, a lofty level in your life. As I look at it, it's the same way we do. We go to a lofty level when we are willing to take a step, and fly off that cliff and head on down. And, we've got that protection. And what is that protection? Well, that protection is the people around us. And we've talked about having a good inner circle, having a group of people that you can trust that are higher in their leadership understanding. They're more skilled, or they've been to places that you want to go that you have not been. You want people of good character, of good integrity, of the characteristics that are willing to push you. They're invested in you. They're not just there to say, well, I mentored so-and-so. They're there to make sure that you fly. So I thought, key number one is you need a mentor. You need someone to catch you. You need someone to be there with you, pushing you, kicking you out of the nest at times. It's really, I don't know, I come up with these crazy things at times, but it's a good story. It's a good thought for our lives today. So if we're going to climb up, when we talked about purpose, we talked about passion a little bit. We talked about having our whys connected, having this point of here we are at going into the office. We're walking through the doors. What brings us back through? What pushes us into the office? Is it the people that are waiting for us? Or is it because we've got some good people around us that are knowing that if we walk through those doors and we handle things in a certain way, maybe we're struggling with it in our minds, and we've talked to them about, how do I approach this? A good mentor will do that for you. And we can go, there's many characteristics of a mentor, and we can go on and on about that. But the key is being able to have the people that you can count on, the people to lift you, the people to turn to that maybe aren't connected to the situation. So sometimes it's helpful in your company to go find somebody that is in a like position of what you want to obtain. I was just talking with a client of mine yesterday, and he just got a promotion. Some of it is because of the work we've been doing over the last 4 months. Some of it is because of just natural progression of being able to take on more duties and showing that he cares about his team and helping them. So it was exciting. It's exciting to see him just be able to be recognized for that. And he said, I can't tell anybody yet. I can't tell people in the office because there's certain things that are going to happen as a result of my promotion. And we have to make sure that, all the notifications are ready to go and that people are communicated with, and that there's an orderly progression. But he was already picking out people that he's been talking with that are in a position higher up, a position that is in a different department, a different area that he's been talking with and getting awareness with, and sitting in their office and learning from them. So not his direct, but a level to which he wishes to get to. So he's already developing that. He's got some friends that are in a position that are asking him to come join their company. And that's a great thing, to be able to have friends that say, you are of value. I want you because you do certain things that I think could help our team. And he can learn from them as well. What do you do in this situation? Here's what I'm facing. So somebody that's not directly involved, who's going to say, well, you should do this and you do that, but instead help them walk through a discussion and say, okay, what do you think? What are the things that are on your mind? How are you approaching it? And then we can explore other options if needed, or simply say, here's something else that you might want to take a look at. So a good mentor is a key. Step 2 is disrupt. So I had some notes from last night. It was a late night, but waking up, a good inner circle. Yes, good inner circle. But step 2 is disrupt thinking. Know a different path. So if you're always doing the same things, if you're always going to your boss with your needs, that's great. It's good that you have a conversation. If you're having a conversation and you're not looking for, just tell me how to do it, boss. Tell me how to do it. If you're thinking about how to disrupt your thinking, it's about looking for a different path or a different way of thinking to say, okay, I got to get kicked out of this nest now. I don't really understand it. I know there's a greater opportunity. If I get out of this nest, I'm told that there's a greater opportunity to go flying and to be able to see something greater, to be able to do the things I'm programmed to do, inherent. So the eagle, again, soaring high so that it can find its prey. To be able to do some other things that are important at those heights as well. Keep away from, potential enemies. Make sure, that their vision is huge. It's crystal clear. So disrupt your thinking. Get out of the nest, fly, and then figure out, okay, how would I handle this? Or here's somebody that I want to not swoop in and attack, but here's somebody that needs a different conversation today. They may be feeling fear. They may be feeling negativity. That you may hear them saying, oh, I hate this place, or I hate this job, or I had a big argument with my spouse and I can't stand it. I can't stand him, or I can't stand her. She always is this way. Good way to step in is to say, I hear you. What could you do differently? Let's take a moment and just tell me what's going on in your life. Tell me what's going on. Would you do that? Or would you do one of two other things? So would you interject and be able to calm the situation down? Or are you going to just walk on by and say, well, those people are just nuts? Some days you have to do that, Some days you just really have to do that. But maybe it is the fact that you're going to let them just go and stew and just build more of a negativity. Maybe it's around the water cooler, and all the events, maybe in Las Vegas, and they're really hepped up on gun control instead of worrying about what is the people doing, Are they fearing that this could happen to them going to a concert they have the next day? They're maybe going to a concert, not in Vegas, but locally. And so that weighs on their mind, and they're really concerned about that, and they're fearful. So maybe you can be the calm. So if you're not going to be the calm and you're not going to ignore them, are you going to fuel them? So those are your three choices: ignore, fuel, or calm. I think you know which one to do, but do you do it? Are you willing to commit to that? So disrupt your thinking, figure out a new path. And for your team, are you thinking about a problem the same way? Is the team just going through a checklist? We're good at work about having this pre-programmed list of steps to go through. If this situation arrives, so if we have a disruption in our business, we're going to pull out our book for emergency preparedness and business resumption and start going through the checklist. This is who we're going to call. This is what steps we're going to do to find out more information. These are the people that need to be brought into the room for an update, and so forth. And these are the people we're going to activate immediately for the special task force. Okay, that's great. But not every situation can be tooled to this list. It can't, there's going to be problems with following the list. Or it doesn't call for bringing out the big 500-page manual that says these are the steps that you need to do, and this is the documentation you need. And sometimes it's just a light bulb blew out because it was its time, and it's not a thing that, oh my gosh, all the power is going out, and and the vaults are going to be opened up, and so forth. I remember power outages in the bank. That disrupted your thinking. You couldn't get back into the bank, or if you could, because it was just a key lock, you could, but you had alarms to worry about that weren't functioning. And when they came back on, you needed to contact the police and so forth. But you couldn't get into the vault and you had no cash. Or, if you had a stash from the night deposit drop, maybe you can handle some customers. So you process those deposits real quick just to have some cash, but you're limited until you can get supplies from another branch, so forth, right? So you can disrupt your thinking by thinking of a different process to say it's in a unique situation. So you're going to need to disrupt. You need to say, we don't have a playbook yet. Sometimes on the field, in football or baseball or whatever your favorite sport is, there's a play that doesn't go exactly right, and you have to be ready for it. And you have to have a different way of thinking about it, disruption in your thought. Sometimes your whole method of getting up in the morning, you're going to do, these steps. Well, sometimes the alarm goes off way too late. You can't do that. So you have to disrupt your thinking. You have to change it. You have to come at it from a different perspective. What can you get done? What steps do you need to absolutely do? But what steps do you need to go around? Lisa, you're taking absolutely great notes here. Look for a new way of thinking to help you propel forward. Yes, you always want to propel forward. You can expect new results. You can't expect new results if you're doing the same things. It's been said. And finally, the third part is really going to have to climb up. You have to do it intentionally. You have to do things in an intentional way. What does that mean? Do you understand what that means? Do you understand it's you committing and acting? So intentionality, you can have intention. I will get up today at 5:15. Well, you hit the alarm. Well, I was up at 5:15 for about 30 seconds or 15 seconds while I found where to hit the snooze, and then I went back to sleep. Well, that's not quite your intention. It was your intention, but you didn't act on it. So you can have all the intentions in the world, good intentions. You know, there's a phrase, and I'm not going to go on in this because you know where it goes to. So good intentions are one thing, but you need to have intentional acts. You need to live the intention. If you want to be in that next step up, like my client, to go and become a vice president in his firm and move up, or in another firm that's doing a similar type of industry, focused. So what are you going to do? I had another person ask me that question. What do I do? I want to become this position. And I said, first thing, I didn't really know what she had done already. So it was an open-ended question. So I started with, well, seek a mentor. Seek someone beyond you. Seek someone who's already in that position to find out what lessons they can share with you, because she wanted to change industries. Well, that's great. We should have upward movement, but we also need to know why we want to do it and why we're going there, and envision it, understand it. As we start walking, we're going to get there closer. We're going to understand it better. We're going to be able to see it. What are the tools that you need? So besides intentional acts, you might need some skills to get there. You might need to fill a gap. You might need to say, okay, this is where I'm at. This is where I need to be. Who do I need to bring alongside me? Again, back to the mentor. Or you need to say, I need to build these skills. I'm not really good at this particular task. Or you need to be able to speak to certain situations. So maybe you need somebody, a partner, to be able to say, okay, let's help me research some of these particular aspects. And let's think through some solutions, or take a look back at what you've experienced and be able to say, what are the lessons I learned? So if I were in a similar situation, or if it was a different problem altogether, what are the lessons that I can take away and leverage and use in this situation? Being fluent in what you do and being confident. So there's a lot around this particular intentional act. We can talk more about this, and we will, but I wanted to just lay the keys here into climbing up, to being able to say, there's something more. And really, instead of climbing, do you want to soar today? So these keys will help you soar. These will get you out of the nest. These will kick you off the edge of the cliff and help you fly. Because today is important. Today you have to walk in. There's a purpose. There's a reason why you're going into work. It's more than just paying the bills. There's a reason why you're there. You're there to touch somebody's life. And how are you going to respond? That's the important part. So be open, be calm, and establish rapport. Those are the keys today. Gone a little long. I appreciate those that have stayed on, and those that are watching this on recording, because these are important aspects to our life. We're called every day to live a better life, but we need to know why we're going in, and we need to have people around us to lift us up. And then we have to think of new ways. We are called to do things in different ways. What are you doing today? What will today look like? And will you start this new dawn, this new day, this new life for you, knowing that you can change and you can commit to a different way today? Be well. We'll talk tomorrow, same time. See you soon. And if you have any questions or comments, please feel free to give them to me. Send them to me. I'm willing, I'm here for you. I'm here to help you get out of the nest and fly again. See you soon.